All right, so how did Cannibal Corpse being headliner of the Summer Slaughter tour all come about? Was that something you asked for, or
I think they approached us and
okay.
whatnot, and we, you know, just back and forth, and then we agreed to do it. You know?
Nice.
It's pretty much what it is, you know. I mean, we don't really ever, you know. Obviously, there's tours we'd like to do, you know, but I don't know, you know. I don't really remember the last time we actually like pursued a tour. You know, it's usually they'll say, hey, you guys can do this tour. Here's the details, and then we decide if we want to do it, or if we're doing our own tour. We're usually the ones, you know, talking to other bands to do it.
Right. Makes sense. Right.
But this is obviously Summer Slaughter's. You know, was last year. It's how many years it's been they've been doing it.
Yeah, it's been going pretty well.
A few years, you know.
So last night's show in LA sold out. That must have been good.
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
So how was the LA crowd?
All was great, man. They were chanting Cannibal when we walked out on stage. And,
nice.
You know, I mean, there were a lot of, you know, friends, you know, that we know from over the years. You know, I mean, like I remember actually meeting some kids before the show, and they're just like, man, you guys like LA, because they're saying that a lot of bands don't go there because the crowd's not so good, because they're just, you know, they get every show. I mean, it's you know, one of the biggest cities in the U.S., but it's never been bad for us. I mean, I you know, I mean, I can never live there because it's just crazy. You know, I mean, but I don't know. I mean, I like being there. I can tell you that much, and I love the crowd there. California, you know, Texas, they're some of the best places for us, you know what I mean? Out west. I mean, we're East Coast guys, you know what I mean? So coming out here it's definitely a different vibe.
Sure, yeah.
And we love it. And, you know, LA is one of the best cities for us to play in. I mean, you know, it's awesome. So, you know, when those guys were, you know, I think they expected me to be like, oh, yeah, you know, it's not so good. But hell no, man, you know. The crowd was awesome. I think every band had a great show. Nice. And, you know, I know that, you know, after 9 bands, you know, kicking their ass, you know, they still had a lot of fucking energy for us. So
nice.
You know, it was a great first start. You know, see all your friends, and then the crowd, you know, kicks ass. And then you go to Raymond, get drunk, you know. It's great.
All in all, a good night.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. So the new album's getting good reviews. It's getting a lot of attention. How is it playing the new material in front of the fans?
It's great. You know, we opened the set with the first 3 songs from the album.
Yeah.
For this tour, we only have an hour, so we're only playing 4 new songs.
Right.
But it's been received well. You know, Europe, we did, you know, full set where we were doing, I think, 6 songs from the new album. And you know, people know the songs. You know, you know, and that's the thing, is like when an album, you know, it's been out for a while now. You know, so you figure most people have it that are, you know, fans of the band.
Sure.
But you know, hey, times are tough, so you know, one way or the other, people do seem to, you know the songs, and you know, they're into it. You know, like I said, we've had great reviews. All the kids we talk to, you know, they love it.
Nice.
And that's really, you know, it's really all you really need, I guess. You know? I mean,
exactly.
we can say we love it, but that doesn't mean shit.
Right, that doesn't count.
Nobody buys the damn thing.
We
you know?
like it. Yeah.
And that means, that pretty much says, no, we don't like it.
Right.
Go away.
Yeah, sure. So you used Eric from Hate Eternal again to do the producing. So obviously that's working well.
Yeah.
And is there something he does special that helps capture the sound that Camel's going for? Or?
You know, we know him very well for what we toured with Hate Eternal.
Right.
We knew him years before even that. You know what I mean? So, you know, I knew him. You know, when he was in Ripping Corpse. You know, I believe Alex and them guys knew him then too. You know?
Right.
So, you know, him and Alex are really, really good friends. We're all, you know, really good friends with him. I recorded, you know, other records with him, with my other band, Paths of Possession, too. So, I'm comfortable. You know, I can only really speak for me, you know, like, why I love to work with him. One, he's a great, you know, guitar player. And he's a great singer, you know what I mean? He's a great death metal singer. So, he understands me better than pretty much anybody we've ever recorded, you know, we're with, because he knows, you know. I mean, yeah, sure, he's got a different style than me, but still, it's, you know, you're still singing the same. You know, it's still extreme singing, so he understands, and he knows, you know, I mean, you know, at the same time, though, well, no, we don't butt heads, like, in a bad way.
Sure.
It's more in a funny way, you know, like, you know, he'll no, I heard something there, it wasn't good. I was like, no, dude, it was fine. No, it wasn't good. I'm like, listen, man, soul it off. You know, just let me hear just the voice, and he'll be like, yeah, okay. You know, let me see, and then same thing. I'll do the same thing, and he'll be like, no. I'll be like, no. It's you know. I'll be like, dude, I heard something. He's like, no. You know, he'll hear it, I hear it.
Right.
And then you know, there's times where I'm getting frustrated. You know, there's a really like tough part, and he keeps me positive. You know? When I want to just be like, fuck this, I want to just smash the whole room that I'm in. You know, just throw everything. You know, rip all the lyrics up and just say fuck this. He's just like, he'll just be like, he'll be sitting there and so what I usually do is when he'll just be sitting there, he's like, well, you know, hey man, just give it a second. You want to keep going, you know, you want to do that, you know. But he's always positive about it. He's not just like, oh man, you know, you're sucking. No, you know, he's never like that, you know.
Cool.
And the funniest part about it all is that when I'm working with him and it's getting that I'm getting frustrated, the best way for me to get out of it is to fuck around.
Yeah.
So I'll say, all right, let's do this part again. Fuck it. I'm going to get it. Fuck this.
Yep.
And, you know, I'll just be like, you know, do some fucking, you know, he'll just be like, he'll be laughing like, or I'll make something up. Just, I'll make up like lyrics and making fun of somebody or something. Somebody in the band or something like, you know, because usually like whoever wrote the lyrics for the song wants to be there when I'm doing it, you know what I mean? Because they have the idea of how they want to do it. Sure, I tweak things here and there, you know, Eric might hear something, we might hear something that has to be changed a little bit, you know, once you're in the studio, but either way, I know that they're in there, so I'll make something up. You know, I'm pissed off. I'm angry. I'm like, fuck, this song is kicking my ass. So the only person I can really blame for it, besides myself, which I'm not going to do.
Right.
I'm not going to blame Eric. He's just recording it.
Sure.
I'm going to blame who wrote the motherfucker.
That's right.
Motherfucker, this is hard. This pisses me off. So I'll come up with something, you know, busting their balls, and it'll be all like, you know, all fucking King Diamond-esque or whatever.
Nice.
And Eric will just be like, dude, you are killing me. And the worst part is I'll keep it going, and I'll be like, all right, man, listen, no more. Come on, let's get this done. And I'm like, all right, dude. What? You know, and I'll just be like, dude, he's dying. And so we have fun, and that's the best part about, you know, working with him is it's fun.
Yeah.
For me, you know, like I said, he keeps me positive when I want to get down, and you know, I really respect his opinion, you know, because you know I respect, you know, what he's done in this business.
Sure.
If you want to call it a business. Well, it really is, but and you know, like I said, you know, he tolerates my silliness, you know. I mean, because I just get goofy, you know. Once you get pissed, you know what I mean? It's better to just try to make a positive out of it. And you know, there's been times where we've just been like, all right, let's just end it for the day, you know. And just your voice is just, you know, a little fried, you know. Because I mean, look, when we're out here, like I said, my voice feels a little rough because I went to the Rainbow last night. I'm talking over loud music.
Right.
I should not have done it. I knew I shouldn't have went, but I, you know what I mean? I went and you know, I had a good time. So, there's times in the studio though, because like right here, we're playing, especially like this tour, we're playing an hour.
Yeah.
So I have plenty of time to rest my voice. You know what I mean? I'll sing tonight, and then I'll come on the bus here and I'll relax, just, you know, chill out, and you know, not go out. You know, so I'll just rest my voice tonight, and then you know, we got 2 more shows, and then we have a day off. So that's a perfect day, just all rest.
Yeah.
But when you're doing the studio, you're singing, you know, sometimes 8 hours or more.
That's true.
You know? I mean, we get 2 or 3 or 4 songs done, depending on how fast I get them done, and that could be, you know, anywhere from 4, 8, 10
Yeah.
hours. You know?
Sure.
So, you know, like when I did Vile, I did some of the Monstrosity album the same day that I did some of the Vile stuff.
Wow.
Really?
So I was like a couple of days. I think I might have sang like 10 or 12 hours. Yeah, but I mean, I was 25 then, you know. Now I'm fucking 42, you know.
Pull it off then,
Think about that,
true.
you know. So, so either way, you know, just going back to the whole original thing, he's the best. I love working with him. I really do.
Cool. Awesome. Well, speaking of all of us getting older, next year will be your 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
You gonna do anything special for that? Or is that a secret?
Sleep all day.
There we go.
I know there's some stuff probably in the works. I mean, you know, you can't really ignore, you know, an anniversary like that.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
but you know, I think we're just keeping things under wraps for now. Just trying to work through what we want to do.
Sure.
I mean, I know we'll still be pretty much, you know, be out touring for sure.
Right.
I don't know if we're going to do any specific tour just for that or not, but
fair enough.
it's possible. You know, I might even be in the works, and you know, we've talked about it, and I just fucking forgot about it. I told you, I'm getting old. You know, it's in your memory the first thing. I hope my memory is the first thing to go because that's my job is to remember lyrics.
That's true.
At the very least, so I could just.
There you go.
There you
know,
go.
well, but you know what? It's as funny as it sounds. You know, I'm poking fun of myself, but there are kids that would know.
Oh,
dude, he's not saying, dude, that's not the lyrics.
Yeah,
true.
Trust me, dude.
Yeah.
We tour with lots of bands, and a lot of bands that I'm fans of.
Oh yeah.
And if their lyrics aren't the same, I'm like, what happened there?
Yeah.
I'll go up and I'll be like, dude, man, you forget that part. Yeah. And I'll be like, look, I'm not breaking your balls because I've done it plenty.
Yep.
Put the fucking, if the choruses are slightly different, put for the second one,
Sure,
the first
yeah.
one goes. It
You
happens.
gotta do it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm spinning my head a lot, man. My head's
Slightly less noticeable. It's all right. So you guys are doing the Knotfest,
yeah.
and one of the things that our magazine focuses on is all the hobbies and interests of hard rock and heavy metal fans. So that's the TV shows and movies, all the comic books, all that stuff we read. So that particular show, Deathlock's playing.
Yeah.
Are you guys fans of the Metalocalypse TV show?
I did voices for the show, you know.
Right.
So I know Brendan and Tommy. Brendan's just doing the band, but
Yeah.
but yeah, Deathclock's playing it. I did some voices for him,
Mm-hmm.
and those guys are awesome. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's great. I love the cartoon. It's hilarious, and when I did the voices for him, it was like before it really blew up to what it is now. You know, before they were doing the tours with the band and
Sure,
whatnot.
yeah,
You know, we did Sounds of the Underground, and Brendan, you know, came up to me, and he's just like, hey, I do this cartoon. And
Yeah.
I remember because I was telling Brian Slagle from Metal Blade, like, yeah, man, I just talked to you, the guy that does it. Slagle was just telling us about this cartoon. It was, I think it either the first episode had come out the week before and we hadn't seen it, or it was coming out like in the next couple of weeks or the week after we got home or something.
Right.
But either way, he was like, yeah, he's like, dude, you got to do that, you know. So I went out there and did that, and then I've since done some more voice stuff at Eric's studio, you know, just you know, a couple of things here and there, you know. So yeah, I think it's great, man.
Yeah, we were impressed with the fact that it actually made it onto a major network and continues.
Oh yeah, and those guys actually told me, they're like, you know, we're pretty surprised by some of the things that Cartoon Network lets us get away with. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like they got a screen thing to them, or screen. I don't know. You know, I don't know exactly if they screen the finished thing or they just screen. Okay, here's the
rough copy.
You know, here's the rough copy of the you know, what's going to be happening here.
Right,
oh no, you can't do that. You can't do this.
Yeah.
But you know, like they couldn't believe that they let them get away with some of the stuff.
Yeah,
like get rocks on the cocaine. You know. They're just like, you know, we can't believe that they're letting us do this, you know. But you know, I mean, I guess, you know, because it's, you know, Adult Swim.
Right.
Yeah.
It's made for you know,
it's all good.
everyone, you know, like, you know, everyone knows that it's for adults. And the cartoons are you know, are catering to adults. So
sure.
I love it. It's Metalhead's cartoon, you know.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, I think, you know, some people could look at it like, oh, it's just a stupid band, but they're not. If you really look into it, sure, they're challenged in some ways, but everyone's good at something, right?
Yes.
But you ever watch the episode, the Blues Clock episode? I did a little bit for that. King Diamond, I think it is, does the devil.
Yeah.
And they go through the devil's fucking, you know, contract and rip it and tear it up like, no, this. The devil's like, you know what? I'll talk to you later. I get out of here. So they're really savvy when it comes to business.
Yeah.
But other things, they're just what I guess most people's perception of a metal band is. Just like, yeah, these guys couldn't cook to save their lives, but you're not going to, you just get a nickel. You're not going to get a nickel out of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Unless you know, they think it's worth it.
Sure.
And of course they have their manager. No, it's great. Overall, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
It is awesome. It's awesome. So you guys are heading down to Australia again for the first time in what, 3 years?
Yeah.
Something like that, man.
Something like that.
Is that crowd very, very different than your European American type crowds, or is it pretty much the same?
Maybe. Well, yeah, it's definitely different. Obviously, it's, you know, it's a lot of miles away.
Well, yeah.
One, but you know, because Europe is different from the U.S. I mean, and there's differences, but you know, I think we probably don't really think that they're as different because there's no real language barrier.
True.
You know, they're speaking English, but you know, it's weird because some places we go in England, we're like, what?
Yeah.
We just been to Sweden and we understood what they said more. What the fuck? You know, no offense. I mean, really, it's like some of the accents are really hard, and you know, I mean, there it depends. Sometimes you can go, wait, what was that? You know,
right.
So I mean, if you talk to, you know, I mean, if you're talking to people there, you know, it's. But I love the accent. We've been there a lot of times, and I don't see it's got its differences. But you know, I mean, like put it this way: one of the times we went there, we went to some park, and there were just kangaroos, wild kangaroos. Now in Florida, we have alligators, and they're just swimming around like it's like watching a stray dog run down the street. You're like, oh, there's an alligator in this pond in my backyard.
Yeah.
All right, you know, you're used to it, but most people that come there are like, holy dude, there's a fucking alligator back here.
Yeah.
Now there, they got crocodiles and alligators and fucking brown snakes and just
That's
fucking
crazy.
spiders. And dude, it's a lot of shit to kill you there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But you know, I don't know if the crowds are like totally different. You know, they're probably closer to U.S. obviously. You know,
Right.
I mean, you know, I think like you know, like England is closer to U.S. Like as far as in Europe, I don't think they're like as like they'll do wall of death, but they don't really do a lot of like slamming like we do here. Like, they won't get a big circle pit where everybody just runs in and starts doing their own freestyle and all that shit.
Yeah.
They don't do that as much in Europe, unless there's like, you know, a big festival and there's a bunch of Americans there, you know what I mean? or Australians or English, you know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
Irish, all those guys. They're like England, you know, the Great Britain and like Australia and America. It's more in the slamming, and there are headbangers there, but there's a lot more headbanging in Europe. You know what I mean? I see kids more like, you know, banging their heads, and Wall of Death is, I guess, kind of become this big popular thing.
Yeah.
We had one in Manchester. It was on film. It was pretty
Nice.
devastating.
Yeah.
I mean, it was this big place we played, and I mean, dude, I'm serious. They were so far apart, and they came together like fucking Braveheart, you know.
Nice.
It was harsh.
Awesome.
And we had somebody videotaped it. We saw it, and I was like, dude,
Sick.
you know, I mean, it's like, you know, when we were younger, we just, you know, the song starts, everybody just goes their own way and starts slamming. You find somebody to hit into.
Yep.
There, it's like, you're here, they're all the way over there. You know what's coming.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, and it's brutal, man. You know, I remember, I'll never forget another time in Montreal, there was a kid just sat in the middle, and they did this big wall of death.
Oh, no.
And we weren't playing, somebody else was playing, and I was like, maybe we were playing, fuck, I don't remember. Because sometimes if I see it, it's because I start singing the song right away.
Yeah.
That's the only way, because otherwise I'm headbanging, you know? Like, I'm always like, for Icon Blood, I want to see motherfuckers headbanging, but I never do because I'm banging my head once the blast beat starts, you know? I'm headbanging, so it's like a stupid thing for me to say. Like, I want to see it, but I'm not gonna, you know?
Yeah.
Either way, this kid was sitting in the middle like, fuck you guys. And dude, he got clobbered, man. And I'm like, dude, going, man, you know what? This guy is like over 18 because his parents, if he gets hurt, they're gonna come to our show like, listen, Mr. Corpsegrinder, I don't care about your stage name. When you're a lawyer, it does.
That's
But
crazy.
yeah, I think it's probably closer, you know, like Australia, like to US, you know, as far as the crowds. They're more in the slam and stuff, and you know, they all headbang too.
Right.
One time we had a teddy bear thrown on stage in Australia. I was like, I said something pretty brutal.
I'm sure.
But I threw it back and they ripped it apart. The kids ripped it apart, you know.
Nice. That's how they should be.
Fun times.
Yeah.
So I see a PS3 over here and a Sniper Elite game.
Yeah, Rob just bought that today actually at
Nice.
Target across the street.
Cool. So I'm guessing video games are
Well,
good unblinder.
I mean, you know, fucking, I didn't get a tattoo. I didn't get.
There we go.
You know, actually, 3 of the guys from Blizzard were out at the show yesterday.
Nice.
And I went. And they, Sam Didier, who works at Blizzard, obviously. His wife came and picked me up and took me down to Irvine, and I got a tour.
Nice.
Of the Blizzard. Yeah,
Awesome.
They gave me a bunch of. Yeah, they gave me the shirt and some
Free
other
stuff.
stuff.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh man, they're awesome. They're great dudes, and I was just telling them, I was like, man, I'm so happy that I did this interview and it just kind of blew up, and then I ended up going to BlizzCon and meeting those guys, and then I went to another one and I sang on stage with their band, and it's like, man, how many people can say they sang on stage with them? Nobody.
Right.
It's just me.
What?
How many people? I mean, and I'm sure a lot of people get tours with Blizzard, you know what I mean? But it's like, you know, it just through that interview and whatnot, and getting to know those guys, I get all this cool stuff, and you know what I mean. Those guys are so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, to me and whatnot, and you know, it's become more than just, because I still play Warcraft all the time, you know. And what's weird is, and I'm gonna do this actually probably after this interview. I know that when I went to BlizzCon last year, they had Mega Blocks. They're doing Warcraft Mega Blocks. Like Legos have Lord of the Rings, right?
Oh, yeah,
I just bought the Helm's Deep set before I left. My daughters love it. You know, my daughter's like, "Wow, man, Lord of the Rings." They don't really even know the movies, but
Right.
you know what I mean. I would be like, "Wow," and then they were like, "Wow," and they look at the figures and like, "Daddy, we want that," you know. So I'm like, "All right, I'll put it together." And they'll help me. You know what I mean? And what my oldest daughter Maya really more. And then they'll play with it. Actually, it's at my house. It's all set up in my house. You know what I mean? So anyway, I went to BlizzCon. I saw the Mega Blocks, and they have one of the sets over there.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I was like, man, fuck. I gotta go get it. But when I go to get it, I'm gonna take a picture and send it to those guys and say, look, motherfuckers, look, I just saw this. Because I was just when I was at this when I was at Blizzard, I was like, hey, they had one of the Mega Bloks things there, but I think it might have been StarCraft. I'm not sure.
Okay.
It was some Mega Bloks thing, but I think it might have been Warcraft. I don't remember. It was a whirlwind tour. I mean, it was like I saw so much, man.
Yeah,
it was crazy. Yeah. But either way, I was like asking Sam, when's it coming out? He's like, oh, I'm not sure, but lo and behold, they're already out. So yeah, I gotta go over to Target, get them. I'll take a picture, send them to them guys. But yeah, it's like I still play, and I'm just lucky that wow, who gets to play, and then you know the guys and whatnot, and they still play. I mean, I talk to those guys about the games, and Sam will be like, yeah, I was playing on this, I play on this server, and I got this guild and this and that, so it's like, and everyone would assume that because you're making it, you don't play it, but I mean, we don't do it all the time, but we do listen to our own albums. So, a few months after, we'll somewhere down the line on this tour, we'll probably end up putting Torture in and listen to it after X amount of months of being away from it besides live. To hear how it turned out, you know what I mean? Let's really see how it sounds on, on the bus and whatnot. We've done it, we do it a lot, so. But those guys play, which is great. It's like, man, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the guys at Blizzard are. I mean, dude, it's because I mean, I played video games for so long. You know what I mean? I used to play Final Fantasy like insanely. Yeah. And I mean, religiously, where to the point where I remember when the bass player, drummer, and one of the guitar players in Paths of Possession, were playing Warcraft at the time. So when I started playing, it was 4 or 5 guys in that band were just playing like in the same guild, raiding all the time. Yeah, man, we were fucking really into it,
Nice.
And Randy, the bass player, he's like living in the Czech Republic now, and he's in the army, so he doesn't really play as much. And Jack has been playing Diablo 3, and Nick, he was playing Diablo 3 and a little bit of Warcraft 2, and I think he still might be playing as well. I just can't play as much because we're on tour.
Sure.
But before we left 2 days ago, I have a 100 named Corpsegrinder, and I got him to level 80. I got him to level 80 the night before I left. I told Sam and those guys that. But all those guys were playing, and I was so big into Final Fantasy before I was playing it. Randy was like, "Listen, if you play this game," because I was calling up guys. I was like, "You dorks, man, playing this game online. What the hell's that?" And they're like, "Yeah." I mean, I was looking at it like, "Man, it looked killer." But I'm not going to admit that to them,
Yeah, of course.
If I don't discover it, then I don't like it, And Randy's like, dude, you play this game, you won't play anything else.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, dude, fuck you, I'll never stop playing Final Fantasy. I can't wait, I'm waiting for this one to come out. And I think 11 was coming out, the MMORPG, and then 12, and I never had played 12. And I really eventually am going to get back into playing it because, dude, you can play both.
Sure.
Right.
But I just got so engrossed when I bought a laptop and Randy came over to my house and he got on we got on the internet and we started leveling the character together. He already had a couple characters anyway that were level 60, which was the cap at the time. And he was like this is. I was like, this is fucking awesome. And I never looked back.
That's cool.
I played some of the Dragon Quest games and a few other games like because they have this authenticator thing that kind of protects your account in Warcraft. And mine was down and I had to wait for a new one to get in the mail, so I bought another game just because I usually whip some. I usually whip certain games ass in like 2 days, but I bought one of those RPG like this Dragon Quest or Dragon Warrior 9. It's really cool, and it's a recurring series too. And so I played that for a few days, and my authenticator got there, and I had to beat it first before I could start playing Warcraft. But I mean, I was playing a lot of shit before then. I played all kinds of stuff, and every once in a while I'll break it out. But man, most of my time when I have free time to play fucking games, man, I always go back to Warcraft. I still love it. People have their complaints about certain things in it, but man, I love it. So you should never ask me about that kind of stuff, because that's really, dude, it's all I'll talk about, man. Dude. I mean, I really do. It really. I had some tough times, everybody has, And people always say to me, man, Cannibal Corpse got me through like really tough time in my life. I just put you guys on to forget about all the problems, And I had shit happening, bad stuff happening with just life, And I could log on and just bullshit with Jack, from Pop. We say Pop instead of Paths of Possession. People say they think it's passive possession. It's Paths of Possession. But we call it Pop. we're gonna make shirts. We're pop. Fuck you.
Okay?
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna make a shirt like we're pop and make it like
Nice.
like really like pop music so people knew. Fuck you. But anyway, Jack will be on. I'll just be bullshitting with him and just not thinking about anything.
Yeah,
sure.
I told those guys too, man. I was like, man, you guys, you know, that game has helped me get through a lot. And then just when times aren't tough or nothing, just fucking
Yeah.
man.
Have fun.
Somebody gave me a tabard. They have these tabards they sell, a horde tabard in Norway. And when I got home and I finally fired my laptop up and started playing, I wore it. I was wearing a tabard playing. Yeah, man.
Nice.
And my wife came in and she goes, "Are you really fucking wearing that thing? Are you really fucking wearing that when you're playing?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!" You know? And then Sam was like, "Dude, were you naked? Were you just wearing the tabard?" I was like, "I'm not gonna go that far." You know?
Right.
But yeah, man, dude, I love it. It's a great
Sure,
game.
yeah.
It's a great game, and the people that make it are even better than the game.
Nice. Awesome.
That's cool.
So our last question is that Torture appears to have magically captured all the bits and pieces of what Cannibal ever was and put them all into one album. Was that conscious, or is that just kind of happened on its own?
Well, I mean, you always want to make a better record.
Sure.
But I mean, you know, and I think that as you know, those guys, it's better a question for them really because you know they're writing the music and whatnot.
Right.
But I would think, you know, that you're like, well, let's write. I think probably, you know, have a certain kind of, you know, song in mind, whether it's going to be mixed, mid-paced with some speed in it, or is it just going to be like Demented Aggression, which is all just punch you in the face from the start to finish. It's all fast.
Yep.
You know, or Scourge of Iron, which is more just putting you on the ground and fucking pounding you, slow and painful.
Yep.
You know, I think that, you know, they probably have a you know, idea in mind what they want to do. As far as like, you know, comparing it to the other records, I mean, we just don't want to rehash things. You don't want to make the same song. You don't want to make the same record.
Right.
You want it to sound different. You know, but not. You know, I don't think we want to go. We're not going to go too far off. Obviously, we're going to play death metal. We're not. We're not looking to you know, create a new sound.
Sure.
A new genre of metal or anything. We're death metal, you know. That's what we've always been. That's what we're always going to be.
Right.
But again, like I said, you don't want to rehash things, and you don't want to write the same record.
Right.
You know, you want to improve in certain areas. I mean, I just think they just write, you know, stuff that, you know, we want to hear. You know, like this is a song I would like if I heard this album that was from somebody else. This is what I would want to hear. This is the kind of music I like. This is the kind of death metal that we like.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anything else you want to share? We didn't touch on that.
For the Horde, stay metal.
Yes. Awesome. All right. Cool.